No, I can understand that, and I'll tell you, I'm the type of person that likes to do a lot of my own work on my home, and even in just my lifetime, I remember when I was younger, I would help like my grandfather or even my dad like fix stuff up around the house, and when I bought this place, I still had a lot of those life lessons from when I was younger. Then I was thinking, well, I need to run water over here, or I need to do this. That's no problem. I know how to do that. But the thing is like when I actually went to like a home improvement store to buy some of the things that I thought I needed, I started talking to people there, and I'm like, yeah, well, I need some copper pipe because I need to do this, and then I need this to be a T, and I need some flux, and I think I need like another propane tank for my blowtorch. And then he's like, wait, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I need to run water from over here to over there, so I need to splice in. And he's like, no. Okay. First of all, you don't want to buy copper.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why do you want to buy copper? And he's like, well, one, it's expensive, and two, it's not the best technology we have. He's like, you need to use PEX.
Yeah.
And he starts explaining how PEX is easier to work with, and that it's harder to get a burst pipe from freezing and stuff because it can stretch a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, well, how do I got copper pipes in my house because I got an older house. How do I join that in? And he was like, okay, you don't need to do all this soldering and flux and blowtorch stuff. He's like, look, this is called a shark bite. Have you seen these things?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm like, wait a second. But I got copper on one side and PEX on the other. He's like, yep, no problem. It just snaps in.
Yeah.
And so I've done several things around here, and I just thought, oh my God, it's so much better than it was before.
Yeah.
For all those haters that say they don't build them like they used to, you're right. They make them way better now. Way better.
Yeah. Yeah, that shark bite stuff is pretty impressive. Because you can easily tie in from copper to new material. I mean, if you want to continue with copper, you can still use the shark bite fitting, so you don't have to do any soldering. But yeah, it makes it easy to start to transition to new stuff.
Yeah, I've got 2 or 3 lines in this house. Like I added a underground sprinkling system, and I needed to add a line for that. And then I had a leak on one of my exterior faucets, and I had to replace that. So I cut out the bad stuff and put PEX in. And I do have a couple spots where I had to run the PEX through some joints, and so I had to use a just like couplers with like a, I don't even know what they call it, like a PEX. It's like a hose clamp, but it's just for PEX, and you got the special tool. Yeah. And so I did that, but anytime I have to join it into the existing copper that's already in the house, even though it's more expensive, I just go get the shark bite. Okay, so the fitting would normally cost 59 cents, and I spent $8, but hey, man, the whole thing is over in like 30 seconds, and then I can go back to doing whatever I was doing.
Yeah, you're right. The technology definitely has come a long way, and it's very useful. It's and it's easy. It's easy to learn. People are always gonna complain about the price a little bit.
Sure, it's convenience.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be free. It's not going to be the same price as the copper. But yeah, it's I've used some of it before, and it definitely is a huge time saver.
Yeah.
So,
are you guys doing any updates on your house?
Yeah, we're going to be doing some this upcoming spring. Hopefully, none of it's with that. Like, I don't think we have to do any plumbing, maybe some electrical work.
I thought your fiance said something about maybe a bathroom in the basement or something.
Well, we have a bathroom there.
Okay, maybe upgrading that one then?
Yeah, maybe upgrading that, and then we're probably going to add a room.
Okay.
But just a regular bedroom. So, but yeah, we'll do some of that. But yeah, and then we did have to do a few updates. We had a small problem with the downstairs bathroom recently, but that's all been fixed. So, so we're looking good there.
Have you seen and just because anything I've got to do, I tend to research a lot online, and like I live in an older house, and I was saying there's copper pipes, but a lot of it is the old school way of, if you need water, you take basically water from like the main run in the house, and for this house, it comes from a well that I have, and then from there it kind of goes to the first place that needs water, and then it piggybacks off of there and then goes to the next place. I mean, it's not all like that. There's a little bit of going to the center of the house and then sprawling out, but there's a lot of like going from like a bathroom sink and then going to a faucet that goes outside and things like that. And I've always just thought, like, the problem with that is if I have any issues, I have to shut down basically the whole house and then drain it and then remove the problem and then patch it and then turn it all back on. But have you heard of these, and I believe they're called PEX manifolds?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. I just think this whole idea is interesting, and I feel like if I had a new house, I would do this, where the main line would come into a manifold, and then every place would have a straight run from there. And so if I had a leak in the bathroom, it's going upstairs, I just turn off the bathroom.
Yeah.
I almost feel like it's a circuit breaker for your house.
Yes,
I mean, I don't shut the power off to my entire house if I've got to work on an outlet. I just turn it off to the room,
Right, right, yeah.
I've heard some people say that the problem is that if, let's say, you want hot water, and let's say your hot water heater is in the basement, and if you had like 2 bathrooms upstairs, if somebody was using one of them and you plumbed it the old way, then it would be faster for you to get hot water in the second one. But since they're all home runs all the way back to the manifold, the issue is then you're waiting that entire time for water to be pumped all the way, maybe from the basement through the first floor to the second floor. So that can be a little, so there's pluses and minuses. But in my head, I just love the idea of being able to go off and just shut down just what I want.
That is nice. Because like you said, making the relation to electrical, so when you just have to cut the breaker to one room, like that is very I would like to learn more about that and see that, because I have heard about that, but that's a big plus.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be a scenario where I've done a little bit of research and I've looked at some of these technologies, and I thought to myself, this is how I would do it if I did it. But the same way that like my grandfather and dad taught me certain things when I was younger, and then when it came time for me to do things here, I went to the store with an idea and I thought I knew what I was doing. And then the guy's like, no, that's not how you do that. You do it like this. And I was like, oh. So I'm sure in like, I don't know, 10 years or whatever, I'll go to build a house, and the plumbing company or whatever that is hired will go, no, nobody does it that way anymore. There's this new thing. And I would be like, oh, okay.